I think my favourite, it's a toss-up between Egypt and Nothing to Fear. I think there are two best songs. Maybe Wicked Temptations is up there as well. I think they're my favourite riffs. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I wrote the riff for Nothing to Fear, you know, but...
It's a solid riff.
Yeah, but yeah, I love you know, all the songs are really cool, but those are the three standout ones.
I think Wicked Temptations is just... What I like about that song is like the riff is like... It's like a proper full-on thrash riff. I mean, it's like... It's pretty close to Painkiller, that's what I like
I get
it's
that.
It's like kind of like a riff on Painkiller, like not intentionally, but that's what it reminds me of. And
Get done for plagiarism.
Don't come for me, Rob Halford. Yeah, like the riff, like, but the trouble with that is like, I think where it's such a good riff, it's quite fast. Like, it's probably like probably the fastest riff we've ever wrote. I think. Like, it's not like fast by like extreme metal standards, but it's like doing the down pick. You've got to be James Hetfield to nail it. Like that, in terms of difficulty, that's like up there for me on the bass, like for real.
Yeah, same. I agree with that. Yeah, to get it all down picked, and yeah, I just give up after the intro.
That's like one of the troubles we had like recording it as well. Is like trying to
keep that stamina up.
Yeah, like trying to get a really good take of like just that intro riff. That is like fucking painful trying to do that. I tell you, we got there in the end, but like, so many takes to do it.
Yeah.
I'll say for me, all of the songs are quite good. I like them all because I...
Just quite good.
I like them all because I did the vocal melodies for them, so they all hold some certain different importance for me. Like each lyrics, each melody is dependent on what the riff is like as well. So the mood of the song, the riff, that derives their lyrics and the vocals from what I have done for it. If I'm picking 3 songs or a few songs to be my favorite, I'll say Egypt, Nothing to Fear, and I Am Reality.
Cool.
Because
you wrote that one.
a bit of that as well.
Yeah,
that's cool. But most of the stuff we've done is quite heavy and it's quite like upbeat. But that song, like it's kind of a hope for people.
Yeah.
Like hopefully when you listen to it will make more sense. But yeah.
The lyrics like on that song I think are like pretty up there in terms of like the lyrics that we've had as a band. Like as you say, they are really hopeful.
Yeah.
And what I like about that song as well is that it's like a really good bookend to the album. Like because you start with the intro track and which goes into Egypt and it's obviously got that sort of like Arabic Egyptian kind of like Phrygian kind of
I think
feel.
it's a Phrygian dominant sort of thing.
Yeah, ask the teacher.
Yeah, so you get that feel,
I don't
like, you know, like that Arabian sort of feel to it, which is really cool. And you get the riff that comes in as the, and then that comes back again. And
It
do you like the singing? It's good.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Sack hit.
And then that comes back in I Am Reality, and it's like the last like riff that plays before the album ends like abruptly, and I think that's like a really good kind of
closes the book.
Yeah, like definitely, and that's like that's kind of like what you know. That's how I kind of envisioned it when we first started writing it. Like that it would be like an open and a close, and like I know initially we discussed that like Egypt would be titled Nowhere to Run, and the last song would be like Nowhere to Hide, and it would just kind of mirror up. But obviously, as the lyrics evolved, like that kind of didn't really work. But like I think the idea of the melodies like crossing over still really works, and as I said, it does sort of bookend it and tie it up nicely. In terms of like favourite songs, as I said, like Wicked Temptations is definitely like, I think the chorus is like super strong as well. It's like got that kind of Killswitch vibe to it.
Yeah, it's really melodic sort of.
Yeah, and like that's something like we've always sort of aspired to. Like Killswitch is like really up there in terms of our influences.
One of my favourite all-time bands, I think.
Yeah, for real. And that sort of influence, I think, it comes across strongest probably on that song. I mean, there are other pieces here and there where you can hear that sort of melodic metalcore kind of influence, but that's definitely strongest there, especially with like the faded outro and stuff. That's like ripped from so many Killswitch songs, just, you know, fading out, and you just have that melody like circling round and round in your head. But I mean, other than that, I'm really like keen on Survive. I think that's where it's like in a totally different key from everything else. It like really sets itself out. And again, that's something like we tried to do intentionally, like the first album was pretty much all in drop C. It was all in like C minor. Tempos didn't really vary that much. Whereas this time we really tried to sort of step out of our comfort zone of like sticking that C minor feel.
And talking about the new album, like we had a question as well for the influence, like the background influence. Like each and every one of us has got a different influence. So when that has come together, it's like brought his influence into the song, like as in guitar writing, mine as vocal, and Alex's as the bass. So when that all came together, it's a pretty good mix. It's worth listening to, I'll say. Worth buying.
And like the same, like on that sort of same topic, like we're all into different bands as well. You know, we do like some of the same bands, but like the range of genres we listen to like completely changes between each member. And obviously, if Mike was here, I know he'd say that. God rest his soul.
He's not dead.
If Mike was here, he would say that, you know, like I'm sure he would say that Slipknot and Slayer like had a massive influence on his drumming, especially during this album. And I know like you're into like more sort of glam and like
yeah.
like what was sort of the bands that influenced like some of the riffs that you came up with?
I guess like I was listening to a lot of like but like at that time I was listening to more like sort of power metal kind of stuff, and then like a bit of fusiony sort of. Greg Howe has been a big influence on not necessarily all of my playing, but there's a couple of licks in I think it's on the solo of 6 Feet Deep where I use like some kind of chromatic passing tones and stuff, and it's kind of a bit more not ripped off from Greg Howe, but you know, inspired by and that kind of thing.
Yeah, vocally I'll say Priest, like Rob Halford, and some of it has come from Avenged Sevenfold as well, because I like proper singers who can sing like I do like scream
proper singers.
But yeah, like people who can sing properly, and that's where the influence come from.
Yeah, like I think you can hear that, like especially like the Rob Halford thing, like which track is
Nothing to Fear?
Nothing to Fear, yeah, like in the like kind of breakdown, kind of thrashy bit. There's like a high pitched like thing that's like straight out Painkiller, like that sort of falsetto thing that Rob Halford does, and that like lends another side to it. And I don't think like you even knew that you were gonna do that like when we recorded it.
Yeah.
I think it was like, let's try this, and then you were like coming out with
sounded so good.
and it's like, oh, it just worked for the song, and like it's not like super present in the mix, but you can definitely hear it.
Subconscious stuff.
Yeah, for real. And for me, like, I wrote, you know, quite a lot of the riffs, like, sort of the basic riffs that built the skeletons of the song. And for me, as I said, Killswitch obviously is massive influence. But, you know, kind of Metallica, you know, you're just chugging on the low E, and like that's the bassist for like, I'm sure like majority of metal songs, but obviously it like massively influenced us, and like not just me, but I'm sure both of you guys as well, and obviously Megadeth for Ali as well, like is a massive influence in terms of guitar playing. I mean, I listen to quite a lot of stuff, like generally, like there's a bit of Muse influence on there, there's like a slight Lamb of God in places that kind of inspired me to write a few riffs. Ghost was another one that sort of came later into the writing process that I really got into them, and that manifests itself in a few ways. And I'm like always impressed with how Ghost managed to keep it melodic as well as heavy. And I know some people sort of write them off as, you know, like
Scooby-Doo music.
Scooby-Doo music. Yeah, for real. And then, but I think like the way they like couple their riffs with the melodic element, and like the way the vocals interplay with that, that's like, that was sort of one of the aims in terms of the overall sound that I wanted to sort of go for, and I think we've achieved that to a degree. And I'm not saying that like we sound like Ghost, but that sort of interplay of the guitars and the vocals definitely comes into it, and it was like conscious when I was writing the riffs.
Yeah, like influence can come from anywhere. Like it doesn't supposed to always be like metal bands, or it can be different genres, or even like different cultures, I might say. Like, because some of the things that Japanese do with their Vocaloids and stuff like that, so much like you can bring their influence into yours, and you can mix it up, and you can come up with such better stuff.
Definitely.